Hey girl, hey! Welcome back to Stepmoms Without Children. Before I get into the details of this episode, I just want to thank you for listening. I want to thank everyone who follows for following. Clicking that button means more to me than you know, and anyone who has also turned their notifications on. We love you. We love you. Thank you so much for being an informed queen or king. So this episode is with Jen. Jen, I met way too late in life. She is the silliest and funniest. She has the best vibes. I haven't hung out with her since before I moved here. That was 11 years, as we mentioned in this episode. So we catch up. We're catching up after not really talking to each other, here and there, sending memes and funny things back and forth. But we're catching up for the first time in a long time. So please enjoy our catch up, get some coffee, and talk with the girls. I hope you love her as much as I do. Don't forget to stay tuned after Jennifer because we have Cuddle Time with my Matt, my hubby. We'll reflect on things that have happened this week and we'll reflect on this episode. And if there's any mistakes that I made along the way, then we'll correct those too. Please enjoy Jennifer Faria. The shadow in the back?
No, the door was like half open. It was bothering me.
Oh my God. So tell me more about your OCD.
Oh no, I don't. No, I don't have OCD. It's undiagnosed. Is this an intervention? You're really bringing me on to be like, listen.
Yeah, actually,
I'm just start popping up.
And here is the next guest, Stephanie.
Yeah,
and your mom,
Dr. Phil.
So we've started. Hi, Jen.
Hi, how are you?
So good. This is a weird thing, listener, because the thing about having a podcast is when I have my friends on, I can dote on them. And so there's also a theme with my podcast of origin stories. So a very quick origin story. I met this bitch of me and you.
Oh, I thought you meant when I was born. Our origin story, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're going to get into yours too, just because the name of my podcast is Stepmoms Without Children. And so generally we talk about family dynamics, and I know that you're the second one. Anyways, me and Jen.
Yes.
So we share a relationship with a lady. And that lady was out here giving out jobs to all of us youngins. And so I literally met her in an office setting. Right. In an office setting in our business casual, hanging out with all these adults.
I was in a supply closet. Don't you remember that? They put me in the supply closet.
I think I was in the front desk or I was in finance by that point. I don't even remember. But so then, and we're children. We're 21 and 19 maybe?
Yeah. I was 19. Oh yeah.
It's so
working
stupid.
In a corporate America.
Yeah. Are we okay? Who said this is allowed?
And my best friend was 40. And that I love
Betty Cabral. She was 50, I think.
She was a therapist. She's everything. Yeah.
I try to find her, but she's nowhere to be found. And so we're just these silly girls, just being silly, wearing our greatest, I don't know, Talbot's outfits to the office.
No, New York and Company.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wasn't.
I would JCPenney at night.
Selling shoes.
UMass Lowell, then to corporate office, then JCPenney at night. I was one of those outfits that, how they make a joke, millennials are always ready to go to the club or go to the office. That was me. I was constantly ready to either go to the club, go to the office, go to school, or go to JC. My outfit had to do everything.
Those are all the same outfit, if you ask me.
Even now I have that.
Honestly, I'm hold on, let me look at my dress clothes. Cool. Business pants. Old Navy pixie pants. And so that's a weird thing. But so one thing that me and Jen definitely vibed on, besides having curly hair, were these eyebrows, honey. This bitch introduced me to threading. America. I take my eyebrows serious. I mean, not today. But every other occasion, I take my eyebrows very seriously. And because you introduced me to Rashtas on Daniel Webster Highway, I wouldn't be who I am today. I mean, when I look at pictures from back then, my eyebrows are too thin, too short, not long enough. But it was the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's your claim to fame in my life, introducing me
I
to a
love that.
lady who could slay my face.
And I can't afford it anymore. Back
Oh,
then, we used to go get our eyebrows started. Steph and I would go near school in someone's basement apartment in
ooh.
Chelmsford near South Campus. She wouldn't take tips. It was like $3 to do our eyebrows. Now threading is the thing. I'm probably to blame for that. I probably introduced the whole entire world to threading, like the US.
Olive
And
Lowell.
now it's like $15 to do your eyebrows. Who can
Is
afford that?
it?
I'm over there with like a tweezer. Yeah, I'm all messed up now. I
I
never do
try
threading
to
anymore. I
do
can't even
it
afford
like
it.
I try like every night, like when I'm putting on my bedtime routine, to just pluck a hair or two. I could have gotten this one. I could have done that one right there, but it's fine. I try. I'm
Mm-hmm.
too frugal. Oh, that's
Oh,
another
no, the
thing.
big eyebrows are bad.
Honestly, but
Right.
they're leaving because everybody's doing a thinner eyebrow. Like there's an app.
I can't.
Don't
I'm,
do it. Don't
I'm
do
not
it,
doing it.
and don't do the extra bell bottoms either.
No, no. I'm not made for that.
I can't. So there's children screaming in the background, and so you're a mom now.
Mm-hmm.
I left
Yes.
you 11 years ago. Recently, 11 years and 1 month ago, I left you without
Oh, I
telling you.
love
I
you
don't
have the
think.
you have the Gen calendar. No, I don't know. I was looking back at her messages and I was like, where did she go? I lost you somewhere, and then you picked back up in my life. I love that you have the Gen calendar timeline.
Yeah. Well, so I had brunch with Stephanie when I was in town in
Mm-hmm.
June. And she sat down and she goes, "So, like, what happened, bitch? Like, one day you just weren't around anymore." And I was like, "Oh shit, were you guys in the group of people I didn't tell that I moved?" She's like, "I mean, I guess." So yeah, no, I broke up with that man that I was with for a long time. I
Mm-hmm.
just needed a fresh start because so I said this to Steph when we had lunch, like I didn't have anywhere to go. Like my parents had moved to Pennsylvania or to Delaware. My dad's job moved to Pennsylvania, and I didn't have any family that I could have lived with, or at least I don't think that I did. And so I wasn't going to move in with you and Fozzie and your mom. I wasn't going to move in with Jen and her parent. You know what I mean? I didn't
Yeah,
have like people to like the support. And
right.
so I don't know, when you're with someone since you're 17, 18 years old, my dad said, "Well, what do? You just go back to the beginning." And I said, "Okay, well, I was in
Yeah,
high school. So I guess I'm moving to your house then."
yeah. You go back to
So,
yeah, and I remember you had left the office. You had worked at UMass. You were
oh
kind of
God,
in
I
this
worked at the
like
nail salon.
right happy nails. Yeah, it was not
Mhm.
happy,
It was
but it was
not
happy
happy.
nails. Called
Yes.
Happy Nails. Yeah, you were at like a point of you weren't really solid here in the
Uh-huh.
New England area, New Hampshire,
Yeah.
Massachusetts area. So yeah, you started anew. Good for you. I
Yeah.
wish I had that adventurous uh,
Spirit.
spirit. I do not. I've lived, born and lived in the same area my whole life.
That's so wild. So the thing that's interesting about you is because you have a relationship that's a tale as old as time. You meet a boy
Yeah,
essentially at church. That's what the Portuguese community is comes
correct.
from church. And then you
Yep,
fucking married him and now you guys have
yep,
kids.
yep. Two
That's
kids.
crazy. People don't do that no
I
more.
know. No, it's unhealthy. Don't do it. To the audience,
3 out of
don't make
10.
mistakes. Go out on Tinder. Go out on Bumble.
Mhm.
Be an SVU episode. Don't do what I did.
Put yourself in danger.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Risk
Be
it all. Risk
afraid.
it all. Risk it all. Yeah.
So how's married life with Danny?
Married life is, but Danny is great. I mean, I think you captured it really well. We've
Mhm.
been together since we were kids. Like I've known, it was funny. I did that thing on Instagram, like how long have you known each other, and like when did you get married, have kids, and all that. I've known Danny since we were 9. So he came to America when he was 9, and we
Mm.
were part of the Portuguese community. We weren't into each other then, but we,
Knew each
knew
other.
every. You know how it is in the Portuguese community. Everybody knows everybody, right?
Right, right, right.
It's such a
Mhm.
unique circumstance. So
Yeah.
yeah, we just started dating senior year, but we didn't go to high school together. And then we just stuck through college, stuck through all the life changes. So we just grown up together. It doesn't feel like we've been together for this long. I think we've been married for 10 years next year. And I think we've been together a total of 16 years.
Oh my God. That's
Yeah.
crazy because we're only like 25. So how could we have done something for
Correct.
16?
Correct. Yeah. I, yeah. I don't know.
You don't know how it's
It is
possible.
really weird. No, it's just really weird because when I talk to other people my age, right, I'm going to be 35 this year. I live such a unique experience.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people, and I have friends all over the place. I'm sure you have friends same. Like I have friends that are still not married. I have friends that are engaged. I have friends that are
Right.
trying to figure out if they want kids. And I've been married
Mm-hmm.
for almost 10 years. I have 2 small children. I'm like, I feel like I've lived all that. I've done all that, right? So
Yeah. You're like, well,
it's like,
now the
wait,
fuck
people are
what?
just starting to do that, right? People are just starting to do that. I'm like, I'm in it, right? And this is it. This is my life.
I just feel like when I was a kid, just because we didn't grow up together, like we met when we were 20 and 21. Also, I didn't know that you were so close to my age. I always had this thing in my head that you and Stephanie were like the other Stephanie's age, like much younger. And so in my head, I was like, I don't even know if she's 30 yet. Meanwhile, and then you said something about your email address was 89, and I was like, I wonder what that stands for. I wonder if it's 89 or 1989. So you're Taylor Swift's age. I thought you and Stephanie were younger, but like I remember my parents being 35 years old.
Isn't that crazy?
And I like remember them being old. I remember my mom being
Old
28.
people, right?
I remember telling somebody that my mom was 28 and they were like, your mom's too young to have you. And I was like, well, she does. So what do you want from me? And she wasn't. My mom had me when she was like 21 years old. So bye.
Right.
But I remember when my parents were 35 and like we were fucking grown. Like we were in high school.
Right.
And here I am,
Yeah, your
like,
parents had you guys young, right?
yeah, and like you're 35 and you have like what, like a 4-year-old and like a 1-year-old or something?
4 and 2.
Oh yeah,
4-year-old and a 2-year-old. Yeah, which is like, I feel like a teen mom. I tell people all the time that I am a teen mom, and I don't know who allowed me to have kids. And now my cat's going to join this podcast because that's
meow.
a mother of cats.
Also, you're still in my phone as Jen Hader, just so you know.
I'm Jen Hader to everybody that knew me before I got married.
And in my head, I call you Jen Hader.
Oh.
It just comes out that way.
You need to see a doctor about that. That sounds like a medical problem that you're having with your
I'm part cat. I don't know. There's like a throaty issue happening. So tell me what it's like being a mom to a 2 and a 4-year-old. That sounds awful.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's definitely not for the weak-hearted. I guess a little bit about my journey. I had a hard time carrying a pregnancy to term.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up going through IVF to have.
Did you?
Daddy. Mm-hmm.
And then the boy just came like that, like.
The boy just came like that. So we weren't planning on doing it that close, but I was like, well, I have such a hard time carrying a pregnancy to term. Like, I'm not expecting, like, it's whatever. And then Alex just came. Through my whole pregnancy, I was just, like, this sounds really awful. But through my whole pregnancy with him, I was just waiting for it to go away. Kind of like, oh, it's definitely not going to happen. Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm 6 months in. I'm like, I just don't know. Maybe I won't.
Wow, this is really going to be sad when it doesn't happen. Oh.
Like in denial. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember going into my OB's office to confirm I was pregnant and just looking at her and being like, how am I going to do this with a 2-year-old? Like, she's going to be 2 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the OB was like,
people do it all the time.
Every stage changes. Right. And she's like, every stage, it seems hard now, but it's going to get better. Right. Everything gets better. It gets better.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'd say it gets better. It gets different.
Mm-hmm. What does it, roll with the punches?
Yeah, roll with the punches. And I'm so lucky I have a village. I have a huge village. Like, I have my parents, I have my in-laws, I have all of Danny's family. Like, I have all this help. If I didn't have help, I think you and I probably wouldn't be talking right now because I'd be committed somewhere. But,
yeah.
I have the help, and I think what's great about being a mom in this day and age is people are really honest about what it's like. I have so many, and I'm so thankful for Instagram for having like all the relatable content of being a mom, and all my millennial moms. Like, there's so many of us that go back and forth on Instagram of like this meme, this video. Like, am I a bad mom? No, you're not a bad mom. Look at this. Like, So I think I'm so thankful for that because I was talking to somebody else about it. I don't remember my parents ever complaining about being a parent or ever feeling like I was a burden. Like, they really love to have me, and not that I don't love to have my
That's
kids,
crazy.
but it's a lot. But it's a lot. It's a lot, and I find myself tired more often. I find myself tired more often than not. Excuse me, cat. So yeah, I love that people are really honest about being a mom, because I never heard anybody complain, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know if your parents ever complained. I never heard anybody from that generation complain about
I
being
don't
a
know.
parent.
I mean, I feel like probably. One thing I just wanted to get into, just because it relates so much to my husband. So my husband's
Yeah,
parents were 40 and 44 or 45 when he was born. And then he
yeah,
has 3 siblings on his mom's side and 3 siblings on his dad's side. So he has
yeah.
only half siblings. And so your parents, from what I remember, are older. And then you have a sister who's like 10 years older than you or something.
Yeah, so my mom was 35 when she had me, so
Mm-hmm.
not too bad. I don't know if it's half or step, it's my mother's daughter.
Yeah,
So
so
we
it's
have
your
the same
half
mother,
sister.
different dad.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
yep,
did I say Matt had step sibling? It's all half siblings.
okay.
But anyways, so you have your half sister, and she's how many years older than you? Oh
My
yeah, yeah.
goodness, 12 years?
Uh huh.
Which is common in like an immigrant culture, to be
Yes.
honest with you. It's
Yes.
very, very common to have
100%.
a big gap between siblings. Because a
So
handful of my friends, their siblings, my sister grew up with them, and then me and my friends were born, and we grew up together. Do you know what I mean? It's a
yeah,
Portuguese community, so it's really common. Yeah.
100%. So the episode before this one, it hasn't aired yet, but for the listener, for the sake of the timeline. So my mom was on, and we were talking about that, how like she has siblings that were moved out and married when
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
came to America. And then she had to like be the older sister for her
Yeah.
younger siblings. And so she's the strongest man we all know, because she's kind of like a firstborn.
Yeah.
And so she had to like take care of her siblings and stuff. And so, yeah, no, super common for the age gap. And so we made the joke that like, oh, maybe I will get pregnant. I just have to wait till I'm 40. Maybe that's all it is, because both of my
You.
grandmas have kids when they
Yeah.
were 40.
Yeah. It comes when you least expect it. And
Everyone
my.
says that. They said
And my. I mean,
it'll happen when you stop trying. And I'm like, how do you delete it from your head to stop trying?
No, you can't delete it from your head. I mean, with Gabby, I did IVF, and then she was my third implant.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, first one didn't take, second one didn't take, third one took. Like, she was my third one. So it's a process.
Is that 3 like
And
rounds of IVF, like after 3
then
cycles,
no,
or they
no,
put 3 in at a time?
they put one in at a time if
Mm-hmm.
you're not high risk and if you're below a certain age. Like, depends what insurance covers. So they put one in at a time.
Not insurance covering IVF. Is it?
Oh
Is
yeah,
I had no idea.
yeah,
I love
yeah.
that. We love
The
that for an
insurance
insurance
I have.
company.
The insurance I have covers IVF. It's a covered benefit, but you still have to pay out of pocket, like, until you
Yeah,
hit
of
your out of
course.
pocket
Yeah.
max. Yeah, but it was covered. There was no limit on the IVF,
I love
which
that.
was amazing. Yeah, so I automatically thought I was gonna have to have another egg implanted to have another kid. So that's why I was kind of like caution to the wind.
Mm-hmm.
And then the wind came.
Okay. You caught that win,
It was
honey.
Pocahontas. It was Pocahontas.
Can you
The
paint with
colors
all
of
the
the wind
colors of the
came.
wind?
I painted. There's a painting here.
You painted a whole Alex.
Yes, I did. Yes, and I love it. I wouldn't take it back, and we're done. Like, I can't handle more than 2 kids.
Yeah.
Like, me personally, it's just too much.
So
So
like you wake up on a Saturday morning, and
yeah,
then what happens?
I wake up on a Saturday morning. So Danny works a lot, right? He works a retail job, so he works a lot. So I wake
Mm-hmm.
up on a Saturday morning. It's typically me and the kids,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just, I mean, for any parents of small children listening, it's just complete chaos. Like, we probably wake up around like 6:30, and I've lived probably 3 lives before 9 a.m. The amount of food and
6:30 seems
activities.
excessive, no?
Early or
Yeah.
late?
Excessively
Oh no,
early.
it's not early. No, I'd love to, for the listeners, please comment if you think that's early. I think that's prime time. Perfect.
Ay. prime time
For
6.
4 and a 2-year-old.
I wake up at 6:30 a.m. to go to work, like with an alarm.
And think about it. The kids probably don't understand what day of the week it is. Like, they're just used to having to wake up, right, that time. But I'd love for the listeners to comment of, are my kids normal, or do I need to see a doctor about it? Because I think...
Wait, everyone else is waking up at 6:30 on a Saturday, right?
Right. I was like, yeah, so it's just finding things to do. Like, yesterday we went to the Pheasant Mall, played in the play place, ran around the mall, got lunch, came home, nap time, try to hang out with a friend. Like, I try to reach out to other people that have kids to get the kids together, because my kids always want to play with other kids. And just finding things to do. Activities and keeping the kids busy. And
like, when are you doing
park.
Like your compras? Like, when are you... Or does Danny do that because he's there?
No, Danny doesn't do that. He'll grab things, like if I'm missing things on the way home. I try to do it, like, before I pick them up from daycare. Like, I'll take a half hour and do it. Or if...
That takes so much organization. You can't just, like, leisurely just, like, walk to the grocery store.
That was probably the hardest thing, I'll tell you. Like, my postpartum wasn't great with either kid, and I think that was the hardest thing for me, is you lose that freedom, right? I couldn't get up and just go get a coffee. Like, when I had Gabby, I just I just want to go get a coffee, like serotonin boost. I don't even need the coffee, but just to get the coffee.
Right.
You can't do that, because you have to pack a newborn and pack all the stuff and then put them in the car, and then they start crying and you're like, forget it, I'm just, you know what I mean? Or it's nap time, or they had to blow out of the diaper. So you lose all of that freedom.
Ew.
And
not
you have to adjust your life.
Not in an insensitive way.
But you don't know that until you, like, I always thought, it's like, oh, I'm going to have all these cute outfits, I'm going to get to take the kids everywhere. And then I had Gabby during COVID too, right? So, like, add that extra layer of, but I was the fittest of my life. I'll tell you, we were walking twice a day because we weren't going anywhere. And then we got to meet the other neighbors in my neighborhood, because I never spent any time in the neighborhood. So I got to develop relationships, and it was great. It was really great. But having kids is a lot of things you can't prepare for. So having my second, I knew what I was getting myself into. But yeah, my village helps me out. Like, when my parents have the kids, or on the weekends when Danny's working, I'll be like, can I bring the kids over for a few hours while I do, like, my shopping and get things ready? Or we do a lot of, like, pickup, Sam's Club pickup, or
I mean,
utilize that.
The best, I don't want to say anything positive about COVID, but, like, we love a quick little pickup. We love a quick little, Susie's gonna go do the shopping for me and drop it off at my door. I'm very, like, when I come home and my work clothes come off, I don't want to leave again. And so if there's something that we need, someone better deliver it. But I'm also super frugal in that I'm not paying, like, super extra. I will order it if a coupon also came through the email.
Oh, it comes up.
Yeah.
See, for me, Sam's Club doesn't have any fee. So I'll go to Sam's Club and pick it up. I've never had anybody deliver groceries. I've never, like, had Instacart
or anything.
Well, with
Sam's, unless you have, like, Sam's Plus or whatever.
Oh, I have the Sam's Plus, yeah.
Okay, girl.
Yes.
No, because I have the Walmart Plus, so I don't need it. So for me, Sam's is kind of far away. It's not.
Oh, see, I'm right next to the Sam's.
Yeah, so I assume you're, like, still in Hudson?
I'm in Hudson, yeah. I'm near the Walmart in Hudson, yeah.
Oh my god. I go to my aunt's house in Drake all the time, and so, like...
I know, I love your aunt and her
treats.
Coquita? How do you...
Coquito.
I order that from her every Christmas. Yeah.
Oh my god, bitch.
It's a Christmas treat. You didn't know that? Yeah.
I had no idea.
Picks it up. Danny goes to her crib, picks it up. Yeah.
I love that. That's so cute. Oh, I love a connection. I love, like, this thing that I miss the most about living over there is, like, and I do this every vacation, bitch. Every vacation, I am, like, on Zillow looking for a house for sale that I can just buy. And
do you want to come back up here?
Yes.
Tell the listeners. Give us the tea.
I want to move back so fucking bad.
Really?
I have my Zillow alerts on Maine right now. I want
to move. Tell me why. Oh yeah, Maine's awesome.
I want to move to Kittery, Maine. It's a quick 35 to 45 minute drive from Methuen. I can just.
So you're farther enough away. You're further enough away to, like,
yes,
be away from people, but close enough to visit. Okay.
Yeah, close enough to, show up for Thanksgiving or whatever the fuck. So listen, I want to move back. I miss, like, we stay in Methuen when we go, and we were there in June. Oh, I didn't mention this. Skirt. We talked about on my podcast about like what we did this summer during our summer break from the podcast because we were off for like 2 months time or whatever. And I didn't mention, like, I went on a whole ass vacation for like 7 days in Massachusetts. And Massachusetts, Maine, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And so whatever, we did that. It was wonderful. I loved it so much that I want to go back. I feel like Kittery is so close. We would be in Methuen and we could go to Drake it to where, because we were there for graduation. And so there were events leading up to and after. And so we could go to Drake it real quick, and we can go to Lowell and like hit my old spots and get fucking, what's it called? Top Donut.
Oh, Top Donut. Are you a big Top Donut fan? I did not know
I am
that
a
about
Top Donut girly. Okay. I'll take an iced
I know you love
caramel
your
cappuccino.
sushi.
Oh, boy, do I. I feel like that's the takeaway. Hold on. I'm going to put a pin in that. So we could rip and run and do all the things and then still go to Maine, go see some lighthouses, go to the beach if we wanted to, go to a little state park vibe.
Yeah.
And then still make it back to Drake it within less than an hour for dinner. Are you kidding?
Keep your Zillow there. Keep your Zillow watch on those
Literally,
houses.
all of
That
those
is a nice
houses,
area.
unless
That's
I
smart.
live in like a trailer or manufactured home, definitely paying, $800
Top dollar.
plus for a home. And so until I
Yeah.
become a person that can buy a $1 million home, I won't be moving there.
You're staying where you are, yeah.
Yeah, I'll stay my ass right here in tax-free Delaware. Thank you. The other part is I don't want to handle the snow. Okay?
Oh, so you guys don't get, I don't know what the weather is like that. You don't get snow like we get snow up here?
No, not even a little bit the same. There like have been like big snowstorms that stores were shut down and I didn't have to go to work and it was a big deal. And that was when I lived in West Philadelphia, but it was like once or twice. And that was years. I've been in my house now for 5 years. So it's like, it's not that bad. So I'm just like, who's shoveling? Like I see like Joey and all the other boys like on in their trucks plowing. And I'm like, who would plow my house if I lived in Maine? Who would shovel even just like my walkway for me to get from my door to my car? Because it's not me and probably it's not Matt. So who's Maine am I moving to? Whose snowstorm?
One of your listeners.
Hey guys, don't forget to let me out of my house.
Yeah, exactly.
So the weather is what has prevented us.
Okay.
I would have moved back after months of being here. I would have figured out a job. Like,
so you love the culture up here better? Like, what is it? I know the weather's tougher up here, but the culture's better up here.
Well, yeah, I have people. Like, okay, yes, I have my parents, and I have my older brother, and I have Nina, and I have my 2 best friends that are down here, and other people mixed in, and I have, obviously, my stepkids now. But, like, nothing beats, like, going to your aunt's house. And, like, granted, like, here's the thing about vacations. Usually when you're on vacation for an event, there are other people there. So, like, yeah, my New Jersey family, I have family in North Jersey, they were there. I have Florida family. The Florida family was there. And so it's like, we're all together because we're all together for this event. Day to day, it's not as many people.
So it's interesting, right? Danny's family's huge, and a lot of them are within like 10 minutes.
Right.
And you would think that we would see each other pretty often, right? Because we live 10 minutes, but it's not the culture. But in Lebanon, my family sees each other all the time, no matter an event or not. Like, they're constantly hanging out and spending time together.
Okay.
I wish that was the normal all the time for all of us.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's less and less and less and less happening. Like, I'm pretty
people
sure
love
that when
being
your
in
mom,
the house.
Right, but I'm pretty sure when your mom moved here from Portugal, like, she was probably, and you even growing up, you were probably seeing your cousins and your aunts and uncles all the time. Maybe
all the
like
time.
every weekend, every other weekend. Right. So then
one street over.
What happened? So then what happened? Like, why do we only see each other like, like, you're right. If you moved here, you'd probably see your family maybe like every other month, if that. Like
oh, I hate that.
I just think it's weird. Like, I would love.
Well, there has to be a dedicated day. I think that's what it was. I think on Sundays, like, we all went to my aunt's house, which is one street over from where we lived, or everyone came to our house, not our house, but like I
But
lived in,
nobody's organizing that. Is anybody
yeah,
willing to be like, hey, Sundays, come to my
yeah.
house? Like,
Well,
hey,
I mean,
Thursdays.
yeah, I mean, I think that back then, Saturday and Sunday was when people were off. Where now everybody has a different kind of, like,
Right.
even my mom's not available on Sunday. She works from home and she works for a big company. I'm not going to say it just because I don't know if she wants me to, but she works at
Yeah,
Comcast.
right.
Still, she works
Right.
at Comcast for several decades. She works on Sundays. So I think that the irregularities of people's jobs definitely prevent people from getting together on a regular basis. And then like with, like having kids and having different activities and scouts and like different events. So there's that. But then there's also like people stayed so close to home.
Right. People are
Like
branching out now.
people
Moving.
are
Yeah.
branching out. And so back when I moved 11 years ago, and I remember it's 11 years because it's always Joey and Tiffany's. It was the day that Joey and Tiffany got married.
Oh,
So when they
really?
put, 11 years we've been married, I'm like, 11 years I drove.
Oh my God.
I know.
Oh my
So weird.
God. But if you think about it, like going to Portugal, right? I went to the Azores this summer.
Mhm.
I hung out with people that live here. So the people that live here vacation over there. I don't hang out with them here in America. But in Portugal, I spent time with them. And I was telling Danny, like, it's the weirdest thing.
Mhm.
Why do we have to be in Graciosa to hang out with people that live 20 minutes from me in America?
Yeah.
Like, it's the weird. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's because we're all busy and we're just not making the time. And over
Yeah.
there in the Azores, it's like, I'm on vacation, you're on vacation, let's get together.
Yeah.
Like, I wish we
Also,
could take some of that vibe and bring it
100%.
back home,
Also,
you
like,
know?
and it's a fear because it's happening. It's coming close in my husband's family. Like once the parents pass,
I know.
there's nothing that holds everybody
Holds them
together.
together. I
Because
know. I
it's
know.
like people, like for us it's like we go to my in-laws every single Saturday. So if somebody wanted to hang out with us, if somebody wanted to see my kids, they could come on Saturday because they know where the fuck I am. I'm there every Saturday. It's
Yeah.
been 2 years I've been doing it. And
Yeah.
so when people do want to see us, they will pull up. And
Yeah.
so like there's that, like you have to go visit your parents type of thing. And
Yeah.
so that's an easy way to hang out. But and I don't know how long you guys haven't been hanging out with the people who live down the street, but it's really just making time and just having so many things available for humans to do. It makes it much more difficult to
Yeah.
get together and go back to basics, if you will.
It does, but I loved growing up in the Portuguese community. I feel like
Yep.
it's such a unique experience. Like,
Mhm.
if, knock on wood, I don't want anybody to die, but if someone in my family were to die, it would be this mass exodus of all these Portuguese people, right? And I don't
Mhm.
have a lot of, like, American friends that have that same
Right.
community. Like, it's so
Mhm.
crazy when I talk to people about going to the Azores, how you know 80% of the people that are on that plane. Like,
Yeah.
it's the weirdest connection and relationship. So
Yeah.
I really want my kids to grow up in the community. And
Yes.
you're right, like, I worry about that, especially with the Portuguese community, and like a lot of people aren't living around Lowell or around Lawrence
Mhm.
anymore, right? So the community is getting smaller and smaller, and then who's
Mm.
organizing these events for free, right? All these specials and everything that are free that people volunteer to do.
Yeah.
So I hope,
Volunteers
like,
are
a
going to
lot of
get
my
more and more
well, we
it'll
work,
yeah.
you
So
know
it's
what I
like how
mean?
am
So,
I
like, who
supposed
has
to?
that time?
Yeah.
Right, exactly, who has the time?
I
But
mean, thankful
I
for the
try to
people that
spend
have the
time.
time.
Yeah, correct. And they have the passion for it. I try to spend time with my Portuguese friends that I grew up with, and it's so fun to see my kids growing up with their kids. Like,
Mhm.
it's just a
The best.
crazy thing.
That is
But they don't
like
go to school together,
oh.
They just grow up within the community together,
Yeah.
the Portuguese community.
Yeah. Does Marilyn still live in Hudson? Or did they move
Marilyn
something?
lives in Hudson. No, Marilyn
Ugh.
lives in Hudson. Her and I get together. We try to get together frequently, like at least once or twice a month. And the kids are really good. Like, her kids and my kids, they get along with really well, and they love each other and stuff
Oh.
like that. So it's great. Yeah, so
I
she
want
lives
that
down.
so bad. Like if I have kids, like my sister's going through the girl I call my sister Nina. I don't even think you ever met her. That's how
No,
like
you have a
close
different
to
life. You have a whole
I have
different
a
life.
whole different life. So when people hear me say things like my sister, they're like, "Who?" But she has her baby, Pia, and she has visited back home to Boston a few times. And she's like, dude, how am I not going to have this baby around all these people? Like,
That's the thing,
what?
right?
And then, like, her cousins are having kids. So, like, Pia has, like, slightly older and slightly younger cousins now. And she's like, bruh, there's a
It's tough.
whole family.
I feel like that with my family in Lebanon. Like, how are my kids not going to have?
Yeah.
And I didn't grow up with my cousins there. It's just like the effort that I make when I'm there, and to
Mm-hmm.
stay. Now it's so easy to stay connected with people because of all this virtual.
Yes.
I think you're right, Erica. You have to put the effort in.
Are
Somebody
you going
has
to
to
be
put
the
the
one?
effort in.
Are you going to be the one
I try
getting the
my hardest.
Farias together?
I try my hardest. It's not the Farias here. It's the Roches here, right?
Yeah.
It's my mother-in-law, and her whole family.
Yeah.
Like that's the bigger side of this here.
Yeah.
You know, I try my hardest to keep in touch with my friends. I try to do girl nights. I try really hard to keep the kids connected, but you know, people are busy. I get a lot of no, not tonight, maybe next week, and I keep trying to like. I push myself. I'm a pusher. I push myself on.
You are a pusher,
On
bitch.
people, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know if people are annoyed with me.
I
Like, I wonder
personally love
if
it.
people are annoyed with me.
Listen, here's the thing. I feel like having somebody, I mean, this might just be my own fucking like middle child syndrome, but anybody who thinks of me ever, I'm like, oh my God, that is so.
You feel honored, yeah,
You want to
right?
hang out with Stephanie when she asked me to go to
Right.
brunch? I was like, me, bitch?
You were feeling honored. Oh my God, Steph loves you.
I don't know that. So I'm so happy that, I mean, we always, like, the same thing
When
with
you left, we were like,
hold on, what?
we were abandoned. You abandoned us. You were the mama bird and you ran away. We were like,
I really did.
what?
Literally. Now I know. I could have
We
lived
used to go to Chili's. We had our Chili's dates. Do you remember?
Chili's is different, no?
Yeah,
Because
Chili's is not. It's not what it used to be.
so listen, when I moved down here, everybody was at Applebee's, and I was like, ew, next to Old Navy, I would never. Like, I never enjoyed an Applebee's. Bitch.
Oh my God, that's an IHOP now. That
Oh, is
Applebee's
it?
is an IHOP on DW, yeah.
Oh my God. See how things change. It's weird, yo. I love that delayed
You would
reaction
never.
also. The Google Maps in your head that was like, Old Navy.
Yeah.
What's next to Old Navy?
It's sad, dude.
Yeah, no, when I moved here, everybody was at Applebee's and they were like, Chili's who? There was one Chili's, it's since closed. And now there's one in Pennsylvania that I go to. I recently went to and I was like, oh, this was my shit back in the day.
The chicken bacon ranch quesadillas, that was the thing. That was
Yeah. Yeah. And then the
Mhm.
nachos. I haven't got the nachos yet, but the nachos that they make each one a perfect bite.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, I should go there today. Imagine if I
enjoy
get
your
an
Sunday.
endorsement.
Go out for
with
me in
Chili's.
my honor.
I will. And I won't get
I want my
any
baby back,
booze.
baby back, baby back. They don't have the fun commercials anymore.
Oh, don't they? Okay, so we've talked about how you have family in Lebanon. So also, in addition to you being an eyebrow curly hair queen like myself, you're a biracial babe.
I know people think I'm Spanish a lot. A lot of times they see
I mean,
me
you're in the
Spanish.
land of.
Do I have that vibe?
No.
I put my gold hoops on just for this.
Oh my God! See?
And my evil eye. So every time I go to the homelands, I get all my like bling.
Yeah, I love that for you.
I bling out. Yeah.
Did you get your hair done when you were in Lebanon?
No.
Really? I feel
like they did my hair for my cousin's wedding, but I didn't get like it cut or colored over there now.
Yeah.
They don't use heat protectant when they blow dry the hair.
Oops.
It was smoking. It was like I couldn't see. It was so much smoke.
Damage was damaged.
Yeah, it was damaged for sure. Yeah, so I'm half Lebanese, half Portuguese, half and half.
I love that. And growing up, was that weird? Because people were like, why is your hair like that? Love that. Was there a lot of diversity where you grew up in New Hampshire?
I grew up in Tingsboro, Mass.
Oh, did you? Oh, my favorite word in the world is Tingsboro.
Tingsboro?
Ting.
No, there was not a lot of diversity. But I never felt... People used to make fun of me because I'm hairy. Kids used to make fun of me.
It's funny because that's what I meant to say, but I said curly instead. I was like, let me not be offensive. I don't know.
Same.
PTSD.
Same thing. yeah. People used to make fun of me because I'm hairy, but I never felt different because I was
Lebanese.
white. Like on the box when
Mhm.
you on the forms, I'm still considered white.
Yeah.
I'm one of the girls, one of the guys,
One of the girlies.
I'm the crew. Yeah, but I did do Ancestry.com, and I'm 1% Senegalian, so
From Senegal.
from Senegal.
I love that. What else was
Who
it?
would have known? Azorian, Welsh. So
Oh.
from my dad, it's called Levant,
Uh-huh.
is that area. It's like Syria, Palestine, Lebanon, like that
Uh-huh.
area. But from my mom, the Azores. We're never from the Azores. We're from everywhere but the Azores. So it's Azorian, but it's Senegal, Welsh, and English, I think it was.
Wow. That's so interesting.
Really
I
interesting,
haven't
huh?
done mine because I have something against my DNA being in a database.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't do it. Steph is not happy that I did it.
Oops. Watch.
Do it. It was a week. I made a week move, and then I was like, why did I do that? I know my family's like I can trace my dad's family
Yeah.
has lived in the same village for centuries. Like I don't know why I did it. I was like, what was I looking to find? I don't
Right, right,
understand.
right, right,
And I
right.
look exactly like my parents. So like I just you see all those like true crimes and these things of like I thought they were my parents for years, and then all of a sudden
Meanwhile,
I don't
you're
know who my
your
parents are.
parents'
Right,
twin. Like you can stand next
right,
to your
exactly.
dad and be his twin and
Oh
also
my
stand next to your
God.
mom, but also be her twin. It's so
Right,
weird.
exactly. I know.
I
I look
my
at
one of my aunts on my mom's side did one, and so we're like super Azorian. It was like 78 or 80% or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
And then there was
yeah,
like other little things, and then one of
yeah.
the second big one was Basque, which is like an elite section of Spain, and
I
I love
can't.
an elite exclusive
I
area.
just love it.
Okay. And then my dad was like my dad, who I just feel like my whole life, everybody said that we were Taino. Like everybody said that we were, like that
Yeah,
was, we were indigenous. Bitch.
yeah. It's because of the work that he does on those bongos.
Right.
It's
And
the bongo. It's the
no,
handwork.
we are sub Saharan African and Spanish.
Really,
Okay.
sub-Saharan African.
He didn't
And
even
your mom's
have,
from?
my mom's
No, go
from
ahead.
Fayal.
San Miguel. Oh, I thought you were San Miguel. You're Fayal. Okay.
Oh, honey, no. I told you I love being elite.
Why did I think San Miguel? Maybe because like most people from Lawrence, I just
Well,
assume
my
are that.
boyfriend at the time was from San Miguel. His
Okay.
family was from San
Okay.
Miguel. So maybe if I said Portuguese words, it was in his accent.
I'm dead.
Ooh, no shade. What's Jen the person? Jen the woman? Like, what is she like? Still very
Who is Jen?
sarcastic. I know that part.
Still very sarcastic. You tell me. I have such a hard time. I mean, lose yourself being a mom, I guess. I work for an insurance company, so
Okay.
I work a corporate.
Do
I
you
work
work
a
in
corporate
HR?
job. No, don't work in HR.
Oh, I always pictured you in
Operations.
HR, but like
Mm-mm.
funny. Like,
Operations, funny HR. Yeah, I do operations, an insurance company.
mhm.
Yeah, who's Jen the person? Oh my God.
Did we just discover that you need to
Oh
get the
my
fuck figured
goodness. I
out?
need to like figure it out. What are my hobbies?
Are you like playing games on your phone? Are you
Oh
reading
my God, who am
books?
I? I love the Instagram memes. I love the TikToks. I think they're hilarious.
I love that.
Trying to get into the fitness stuff, taking some workout classes.
Nts, 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 nts,
My
nts.
goodness.
I
Working
mean,
out, hanging out
if
with
it sounds
people.
like you're
Yeah.
just fucking doing it. Listen, the fact that you take the time to plan and go on vacation, like you are a family girl and we love it. Like I literally do not have the patience. I literally do not have the patience to plan a big ass vacation like that. Like that seems like so much pressure and I imagine you did it.
Do you think so?
You're the leader.
I
You have always been a
I
doer.
love the doer. I like looking back on my childhood. I try to give my kids what I liked out of my childhood,
Mhm.
and I love being able to go to all these places and experience all these things. But again,
Mhm.
Graciosa back in the 90s and early 2000s is very different. Like the Azores. The Azores is like a sexy thing now. I was talking to somebody about that. Like everyone's
Oh,
like, "Oh, we're all going to the Azores. We're going to the Azores." When I was in the Azores, you were like dragging kids to go because like there was no TV. There was
mhm.
like it was like the old country, right? And it's
Yeah.
like now it's like the thing to do. And I'm so
Yeah.
happy that finally everybody's on board because like I used to be alone there. Like, where's all my friends? What's going on? Where's everybody?
Yeah.
But I want my kids to experience all of that. So I don't like to fly. I have a big fear of flying, but I suck it up because I want my kids to
Yeah.
speak Portuguese. I want my kids to understand the culture. Like I would, like
Does
that's an
Debbie speak
amazing thing to be like,
Portuguese?
hey, no, no, I'm hoping to start getting her. I'm
Tell your
lazy about it.
mom.
I need to start speaking it at
Tell
home.
like
Oh, my
Danny and
mom
your.
is, they speak it all the time. I think it's us at home that, because they're more times at home, right, than
Yeah. Tell
anything else.
Danny.
But I didn't get to grow up with my grandparents. They were all overseas, so I'm all about the kids really spending time with the grandparents. I know a lot of people, they think we don't want other people to raise our kids and all this stuff, but like for me, I love that my kids are close to their grandparents and like
100%. I would want
those
the
are
same
their,
thing for my kids. I
yeah,
mean,
that's
I
what I
mean,
want.
I have Ryan is like that. Ryan like will request to go to my
Yeah,
parents. Like we'll be
yeah,
out ripping and running doing our compras on Saturday morning or Friday night, and he's like, "Are your parents awake?
yeah.
Do you think your parents are home right now?" And I'm like, "Huh, go."
He loves it. You see that?
He
And
really
it's
does.
your parent, like the connection he has to you and your family is awesome. And that's so
Mhm.
important. I love
Yeah,
that.
100%.
You don't know my claim to fame?
Oh, what is that again?
I was on my Super Sweet 16.
Oh my god, you were, bitch.
Wait, do you wait? I thought that's why you asked me to come on this. I could get my followers.
Yeah, totally. For being in the background, in the background of a
I was
very dark
throughout that
episode.
episode. Listen, if the listeners want to see, I'm happy to share with you. Just comment that you want to see the Sweet 16. I am in
Okay.
that episode quite a bit. I want to say I'm like the 5th most featured person. You're not giving me credit where credit's due.
Amongst the group of the people that you were
Now,
standing with. If you
now,
do like this and then remember what you were wearing, you can look for it.
no. I had to sign a release to be on it. Listen,
Oh my god, is your release over? You can spill the tea now?
there's no tea.
The statute of
But
limitations?
that's my claim. So it's nice that you asked an old MTV star to come on your podcast.
What's less than a star?
A Z-list celebrity.
a pencil listed celebrity.
I know. I still have the keychain. So they gave us a keychain as the invite. I still have it on my car keys.
No, you don't.
Oh yeah, Chelsea's Super Sweet 16. Yeah, I have it on my car keys.
Dead. Central Catholic could never.
No, Bishop Curtin.
Really? Oh, duh.
Bishop Curtin, yeah.
I did know that.
No, yeah.
It was like
Bishop
green
Curtin.
and yellow or something.
Mm-hmm. Gold and green. Yep. The Cardinals, baby. Mm-hmm.
I'm dead. Cardinals aren't red?
That's my fun fact. Like, everyone's like, oh, I hate fun facts. My fun fact is I was on an MTV, like,
okay, so
my grade was on Super 16.
I'm going to let you in on a secret, bitch. That's not a fun fact. I was on the background of my Super Sweet.
I wasn't on the background. I'm going to send you the clip. You don't remember the episode.
Sure. I feel like you guys made me watch it at Chili's.
You don't remember.
Or maybe at Pizzeria Uno.
I'm questioning oh my god, Pizzeria Uno's. I'm questioning our level of friendship here.
That was a very, hold on. We're going to end the recording. I have to tell you something. So thank you, Jen, for joining me. I had such a nice time. I look forward to going back to Massachusetts and hanging out with you, except we'll give you more time to plan around it because I think that we were a little too last minute last time with our planning.
Yeah, with the kids, I need like a month and a half to make sure I have somebody on tap.
Oh, is that all? Just a month and a half?
Yeah, just a month and a half.
I will never be making plans with you. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
How was it?
Oh, it was so much fun.
Jennifer is so funny.
Some of your episodes are like very interview like, and some of your episodes are very just like
Kiki.
Yeah. And this was a Kiki episode.
Oh yes.
It was enjoyable. It was fun to edit. What I particularly appreciated how concise and on topic she actually said somewhere that we were going to have a problem because everybody was so off topic. I didn't find that.
Yeah, I remember when she said that. I was like, are we? I mean,
Really?
maybe towards the end.
It seemed like it went pretty
Yeah.
straightforward. The only thing I edited out was when there had to be like a break for some reason.
Oh, yeah. Well,
You
she's
know.
a mom, so
Yeah.
when someone comes to the door, she, may or may not need to answer it.
I wasn't being. I was just saying.
Yeah,
she
yeah,
had
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
break
yeah.
was necessary.
No, I noticed
wasn't-
that with some of the interviews that I have already done is people don't have free time the way that I have free time without having children.
Yes, the Without Children does give you
Time to have a podcast.
Yeah, there's not a Stepmom with Children's podcast.
Yeah. They're
'Cause
busy.
They're busy with children.
Right. So Jennifer is so passionate about family and keeping her family together, but also just socializing in general. And I feel like that's like her and I are birds of a feather. Like we love a social, we love a get together. We don't want to go somewhere by ourselves because why would we go by ourselves when we can bring a friend? Let's get a
Right.
+1.
Everybody can go. Why would we go just by ourselves?
Oh, no, okay.
Right?
So that's like the vibe that I was talking about. Like I want to go food shopping and I want like 2 of my friends to come with me.
Yeah. Now, see, that sounds like if somebody called me up and said, "Hey, man, you want to go food shopping with me?" I'd be like, no.
Listen, because one time I know that you called Pete to go to Home Depot with you.
That's not food shopping. That's Home Depot.
That's the equivalent, no?
Is that the male equivalent of grocery shopping?
I feel like, yeah, when you're
Is Home
fucking
Depot?
saving money so you're not going shopping, grocery shopping is your shopping. Like grocery shopping like is where I hit the streets.
Oh,
You know
all
what I
right,
mean?
well, I got-
Anyways, speaking of shopping, you guys, ask me how fucking Delulu. Also, I feel like I swore a lot in that episode. When I have a friend on, I'm so like chill that I say a lot of swear words. So anyone who's offended, sorry, gosh. Anyways,
On my show, we had a contest last week.
right,
I would have lost had it not been for our guest.
right.
He
was,
really He
it's like
really
he was trying
took
to
the
be-
lead in
yeah.
in this situation. But the only other person to get points on the board was you.
So tell me why I transferred all of my socials to being creator mode, to being in creator mode. Eventually, you can get brand deals and monetize and stuff. Whatever. And then I got an advertisement that says you've been invited. I'm sure it's not me that's invited. It's just the algorithm for creator mode. I've been invited to create an Amazon storefront and be an Amazon influencer. So your girl did it. I
Yeah.
have an Amazon storefront.
Did they shut it down?
No, it's there.
So it's there.
Yeah, Stepmoms Without Children on Amazon.
So what's the problem?
It's just crazy because who the frick do I think I am?
Listen, you're talking to a dude who has spent the better part of 30 years being completely delusional.
Oh, I'm in good company. you're
Yeah,
saying.
no, yeah. And I fully support you being
Delulu?
Yeah, why not? It's
Thanks,
better
babe.
than dealing with reality. Reality sucks. At least when you're delusional, you have visions of grandeur.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean?
So I haven't quite figured out the social media part about having an Amazon storefront. I'm a busy working girl. I'm not, unfortunately, podcasting and content creating all day yet. But, I have some things in there. I'm going to have some podcast starter lists in there. Right now I have just like my little workout pants and my yoga mat list and my infinity hoop. Because if I like it, then you'll probably like it, guys. And so
Now, if
anyone
you have
wants
an
to check-
Amazon storefront, do you have to like prove that you bought it? You own the thing?
No, but you can just, it's easy because like you can just go off your searches and your recent purchases and you can just like add stuff
Right.
to a list.
I mean, I say we throw that podcasting setup on
Well, yeah,
there.
no, I
we
definitely
throw
want
the
to make
we
up.
throw the 48 the Phantom Power pack in there. That thing was
Yeah.
like $20. That microphone's $90.
Yeah, I want to be an advocate for the small podcaster. Listen, here's the thing, and I said this in next week's episode, I always foreshadow. Is that the word? I
Sort
always
of.
drop a little hint.
Little teaser.
Yeah. So
Just a little saison, a little flavor, just a little blood in the water, you know.
I'm gonna put a pin in something real quick and mentally. So I mentioned in next week's episode that you guys haven't heard yet, but you know, your memories will put it together. Like Matt gives me the creative vibes. He gives me the creativity. Like for him, it's important to have a creative outlet. And I feel like growing up, like I didn't like have that. And I don't mean like I'm not trying to say it in like a bad way about my childhood or anything, but just like I didn't like know that was a thing, and I didn't know that I was so creative.
One of the things I've always kind of admired is how creative and musical your family is. I feel like my life would have been a different track had my dad been a musician, as opposed to, you know, thinking music was stupid.
Yeah, no, it's weird because your mom, you know, she's worked at like the witch store and she's worked at like fairs and stuff, and she's an astrologist and all the things. So she's very creative, and your dad is the exact opposite.
My dad wants to snuff out any creativity in anyone.
Right. It's like crazy.
Like there was, my mom decided at 50 that she was going to learn how to play the guitar and the piano at the same time.
Oh, geez.
And, you know, my family was not supportive at all.
So you bring out the creativeness, and so I don't want to ruin next week's episode for anybody, for you or for the listener, but I appreciate that you make me do this against. No, I'm just kidding.
You hold me hostage.
I appreciate that you chain me to
I'm
this
chained
microphone.
to the computer. I don't know why I bought this thing.
No, we're kidding. No, he really pushes me, and he really is like, no, you need, like, this is important. And so when I tell you guys, and I don't know if this is like a bad thing to say or not, like I try to quit this thing or try to go on break or try to find a reason not to so hard. But then something clicks, like today. My mom's episode blew up. She has so many people listening to it. We're getting so much feedback, and like we're obsessed. And like that just like makes me happy. Like, oh no, I have to continue this so my mom can come on again, and so my dad can eventually come on, and like I want to get their story out there because it's such a beautiful one. And so I just like I have stuff to say, and like you encouraging me to do this, like I appreciate that you do that, you know. Are you blushing?
I'm tearing.
Aw, love you, Boops.
I love you. That's really like some touching stuff to hear.
Aww.
And
wait till you hear next week's episode. Better start editing so you can hear it all and cry all
I
the
can't
time.
wait. But
I love you.
Yeah, I love you. You have always seen the importance for me to have that creative. Like you knew that was a part of.
Yeah.
Like that was necessary for me.
Mm-hmm.
And like you don't know the whole story, but you've got most of the bits and pieces of it.
Mm-hmm.
How it all came to, like how I got to the point of being a podcaster.
Right.
And you've always held it as a priority in the day. Like we record on Wednesday nights. Like you protect my time.
Yeah, that's the plan.
You've been very supportive of my podcast career, for lack of a better term.
That's the word.
And I see so much creativity in you. And honestly, like having a creative endeavor that you and I collaborate on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2 of them now is a special thing to me. It's
giving love language.
It is. You playing radio with me means you love me.
100%.
No, but that's not, I don't know if you were aware of this, but I was married before, and I've always had this tendency of needing something, a distraction, whether it being a band, making documentaries, making home movies, whatever it is. I need to have that creative force going. Like it needs to keep going.
Right.
And the fact that you understand that and support it, I've had other relationships before, and like I've never felt as seen by a woman. So it's easy for me to be nurturing because I feel like I'm getting nurtured.
Aww.
You know what I mean? It's so easier. Yeah, I love you. I adore you. I'm trying to hold back my tears. I don't want to blubber like a fucking idiot.
Idiots? That's a mean word to say about yourself, about anybody's self.
Well, if I was blubbering, I would be an idiot.
No, you wouldn't. Shut up. I love you. I love supporting you, and I love that you support me, and that's why we're in love.
Yeah. But it's more than just being in love. Like,
we're doing love.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for... I know I said in the beginning, but like the way that I'm obsessed with people pressing the follow button and seeing so many more people press the follow button, we have a lot of new listeners on YouTube. All right, we're doing this long enough. Let these people go.
Whatever.
Bye.
Bye.